This is the Global Economic Scrap Metal Commodities and Recycling Report by BENLEE Roll-Off Trailers and Open-Top Scrap Haulers, October 8, 2018. Last week, commodity prices and economic reports are mostly mixed. U.S. steel production fell slightly, but remaining strong and is supported by tariffs, protection, and a good economy. Oil rose about 75 cents to $74.34 a barrel on a good economy and Iranian oil mostly coming out of the market. Note that China's slowing economy could help reduce oil demand and therefore reduce oil prices. U.S. weekly oil production remains steady at its all-time recent high of 11.1 million barrels a day. The U.S. is considering not retaliating against some countries that will continue to buy Iranian oil after the November 4th sanctions deadline. There is not enough global oil production to make up for the Iranian losses, so prices would actually climb further. India, a major U.S. ally, has already committed to Iranian deliveries for November. Iron ore was steady, remaining at $69.50 a ton on limited economic news other than China tariffs. Scrap steel #1 heavy melt remained at $300 a gross ton on this chart, but next week it will show the about $20 gross ton rise we saw in recent days on good demand and soft supply. Hot dip galvanized steel fell $40 a ton to $11.05 on a good supply and reduced demand from markets such as automotive. Copper fell 4 cents to $2.76 as U.S. tariffs are slowing China's economy, which consumes about 50% of the world's copper. Copper fell a penny this morning to $2.75. The 5-year chart shows that copper actually is remaining above the 1-year low from 6 weeks ago on these nervous markets. Copper inventories fell to near multi-year lows as the markets remain under downward pressure. Aluminum rose about 5 cents to 96.7 cents, near a multi-month high on good demand and on market disruption, but good demand is actually still coming from transportation and construction markets. Aluminum LME inventories fell to a 9-year low, supporting stable to higher prices and increased production and increased mining. The yield on the U.S. 10-year Treasury bond hit 3.22%, the highest in over 7 years, due to the strong economy. This will raise mortgage rates and other bank rates. The strong economy is great news. It has people buying, and buying, which has led to September imports into the U.S. being the highest on record, with strong demand for imported cars and imported consumer products. The U.S. September trade balance was the worst in almost 10 years, with imports being up, as we just discussed, and with U.S. exports to the rest of the world being down, with soybeans going to China being a huge problem due to the tariffs. It's a multi-billion-dollar problem. September sales of U.S. vehicles were down 7% from last year and down 4% for the quarter. Of the largest companies, only Chrysler was up over last year. September's U.S. Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index rose to 55.6, the highest in 4 months, driven by sharper rises in output and new orders, though business from abroad expanded at a marginal pace. September's U.S. unemployment rate continued its 9-year improvement, hitting a 49-year low of 3.7%. Just great news. Related, it's bringing much-needed wage inflation as Amazon, the United States' second-largest employer, announced a new minimum wage of $15 an hour. Many believe the U.S. no longer imports oil due to, as we discussed 2 minutes ago, the U.S. is pumping record amounts of oil. The U.S. is the second-largest importer of oil, only after China. Crazy, but due to global dynamics, we're also an exporter of oil in small amounts, but it's getting larger. Many also believe Saudi Arabia is our largest supplier. Our largest supplier of oil by far is Canada, with Mexico at number 5. Iraq is about to drop out due to the new sanctions. Wall Street's Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a new record during the week and fell days later on interest rate fears, finishing up 17 points to 26,475. Overall, things remain very good, but China remains a global slowdown risk. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.